Hello, it is Sunday, week 6, our final week of Halloween-a-thon. How sad. Okay, well, last night I watched Cat o' Nine Tails. It was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Honestly, I wasn't super checked into it though. I was working on my next reading journal. This is one, I'm running out of space. So this is going to be like a 2004, 2005, maybe beyond journal. I got one that was, it's big because this is the size of my reading journal now, right? Comparatively, a little bit bigger, right? A couple inches bigger. Just because I'm finding that it's like I'm going through pages so quickly, and I just wanted to try a larger size out. So it's definitely, it feels much bigger. And so I've been working on putting in some spreads on that because we're also getting to the end of this year, and so I want to do like the spreads that I'll need for next year. So I've been working on that. I'm doing one. I wanted to include one this next year for just like a running count of, I think I'll do this actually for when I start this journal. So I'm going to have one for like the amount of unread books that I have. And then when I'm done with this journal, the amount of unread books that I have. So hopefully there will be a difference in that number, and that number will have decreased. Hopefully. I'm including an amount of books that I've brought in, an amount of books that I've unhauled, the amount of books that I've read, and the amount of series that I've either completed or DNF'd, decided to not complete. I've got, of course, I always do like an index. So I've got that here. I decided to do spooky Halloween colors this time. Last time I did more of like a cutesy, like kind of, I don't know, flowery looking. I was really going with this washi tape that I used with the snakes and the flowers. So it's a little bit different this time. My lines are a little bit wobbly because I was doing it in bed watching a movie and dealing with cats and husband rollover sleeping. And then I've also written out kind of reading lists. So I've got 2 reading lists in here that I've finished writing out like the books in the lists, and now I just need to go through and do like the fancy details for them. So that's what I was working on. I didn't do all of this last night. Well, I did do this spread last night and my index last night, and then started putting in the check boxes for the first reading list. So yeah, it's gonna be some work before I have this done, and I really need to like get my act together because I've only got a few pages left in this journal. I don't know, it's almost November and I've already put that I'm starting this in November. So what am I gonna do? I really need to get my act together here. Jeez Louise. So that's what my journal looks like so far for the coming months and also next year. What else am I gonna put in there? I'm gonna draw out, Because, okay, here's the thing is last year what I did was I bought like a really nice, what is it called? The always fully booked one that, oh gosh, what is her name? I think it's Little Inkling Designs. That's the name of her like Instagram and company. She's been doing this planner for years. I've used it twice in like very different, like my first year on BookTube, my mom bought me this planner, and I loved it. I used it like the full year. It was very helpful. And then last year I bought it again, and it was really nice. It has a lot of cool spreads in it, right? But my thing was that the review parts of it are much smaller than the space that I need for when I'm writing out books. I have chip dust. I was eating chips over here earlier. I have chip dust all over my hands. Hopefully I don't have chip dust. Oh my god, what if I have just like chip crumbs all over my body this whole time? So then I started using like my book journal. I thought I was gonna save myself time by using a journal where the spreads were done out by me, but then I ended up just doing it by myself half the time anyway. So I did use a lot of the always fully booked stuff for just like my daily stuff, which was nice, but it's kind of like I can just use a much cheaper planner for my daily stuff. I didn't really need it for, and I did use some of the spreads for my book journal, but it's like now I'll spend a little more time and just do the spreads for myself, and I'll have all my book stuff in one journal, and then I'll have my daily planner, which right now I have 3 planners. I have my always fully booked planner. For my daily stuff, I have one for my school shit, and then I have my book journal. And then I also have book stuff in my always fully booked. So it's like, it's a little bit chaotic. So hopefully this will streamline shit. And so last night when I was doing that, I watched Cat o' Nine Tails. I thought it was all right, and that took care of that roll, and now we can roll again. See where we are. I had to take all the rubber bands off my cards because Fang Fang was trying to eat them and cause chaos. I'm getting to the end of the board. Maybe I will get to the end of the board and start over. 3. 3! A treat! Oh my god, I get to do an activity! Treat! Can you see? We were here. 1, 2, 3. We made it to a treat. All right. Heck yeah. Wow. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. Watch a movie in a fort. All right. What if I watch a movie in a fort and also play a scary video game in a fort? I'll have to look on my Steam Deck and see what kind of games I have on there. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so much fun. Okay, I think tomorrow, okay, I just took a trip to the grocery store and wasn't thinking about all the, I did grab some stuff to make some dip for my pepper lantern, but I think I'm gonna have to go and get some Halloween candy and get see if I find some seasonal beer, because I want to try like a, I don't know, Oktoberfest or like pumpkin beer. So I'm actually gonna have to go to like the liquor store, I think, down the street, because like my Albertsons doesn't have that, unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna get some like sour gummy worms, because honestly, I really want some sour gummy worms. And some pumpkin beer or Oktoberfest beer. I bet they have some. and then watch a movie in the fort, drink a beer, and eat some gummy worms, and play a horror video game tomorrow. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Okay. Okay, so that will be my plan for tomorrow. Yes. Oh, it's all coming together. Yes. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm so excited. Goodbye. Good morning. Good morning. It's Monday, the day of my really fun, exciting build a fort in the living room, drink a seasonal beer, eat some Halloween candy, watch a movie, and play maybe a horror video game in my fort day. So jot that down. So I did just go out to my favorite little like corner liquor store. I was able to find a seasonal beer. They didn't have very much. I was actually looking for more like an Oktoberfest one. I found one. There was one there, but it was like Sam Adams and like, I don't know. I wanted something more like from a smaller brewery. So I was able to find one. I'll show you what it is later. When I get my fort all set up. I brought it home and I was unloading my bag because like I got like a snack, I got like a candy, which I was looking for more like, I really wanted some sour gummy worms. And they had sour gummy worms, but they were the ones with like the like flavored like liquid in them, like kind of like Gushers. And I don't like those ones so much because I don't like the flavor of the liquid in some of them. So I found something different, but I was kind of bummed out that they didn't have sour gummy worms, which is fine. It's a liquor store. Like, I'm surprised they have candy anyway. But I was unloading the beer and it was in like the, you know, what do they call it? Where they have like the wax around the head of the cans, right? And I was pulling it out of the bag and one can slipped out and fell on the floor and started to, it like somehow got damaged enough on my shitty like lumpy linoleum floor that it started to spray everywhere. And I was like, oh shit. And the dog is like, yes, this is my chance to finally consume alcohol. I'm like, no, stop it, stop. So it like sprayed all over it. I was panicking and I was like, oh no. And I opened up the cabinet and there's no fucking glasses inside. Like I was trying to put it in a glass so that I didn't lose. It was like, it was like $23 for a 4-pack of this and a pack of gummy snacks and an energy drink. So like that must have been probably like, I'm guessing like 18 bucks for that 4-pack of beer. I'm like, I am not wasting a single drop of this. So I was trying to like get a cup to put this in and there's no cups in my cupboard. So I'm like panicking. I have my finger over where I think the hole in this can is and it's like spraying all over. So now my kitchen smells like pumpkin beer. I did find a cup. I just had to find the right cupboard. It's like, oh my god, I need to unload the dishwasher and I need to go to the post office before I build my fort. So those are my chores first before I reward myself with my fun things. Oh my god, why? But I'm really excited that I found this beer anyways. Even though I didn't find an Oktoberfest one, I think the can for this is really fun. Even though I don't love pumpkin flavored stuff so much, I mean, there's 4 cans of it. Like, I'm sure I can fucking deal, right? I paid enough for it. I'm gonna suffer through it even if I don't like it. And the cans are really cool. I'm gonna show you them, like I said. So I'll see you in an hour or two once I get all my shit done and I get my fort built. I'm very excited for this day. See you in a bit. What's up, everyone? I have to use my phone light in here. This is my tent. Can you see? Can you see in here? You can probably see trash under, hopefully you can't see trash under my couch. It's called I Have a Kid Who Hides Trash Under the Couch. Possibly. Look, this is me. I made a fort. It lured a cat. This is Baron. He's probably very confused about what's going on right now. Why he's on syndicated television, because this is now MTV Cribs. So I made my little fort here, and my TV is right here, right up above. I'm pointing with my foot up above here. You can't see. So I actually kind of have to modify my tent if I want to watch TV. So I'm thinking I'm going to watch X-Files, because I was listening to the most recent episode of Books in the Freezer, which is a book podcast that I love. And they were talking about X-Files episodes, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't watched X-Files actually since April, since I did old school April. I'm gonna play a video game. Oh god, I can't actually sit up all the way. What is giving me this wicked shadow, these shadow eyebrows? My glasses? Okay, so I looked at my Steam Deck library, because for a long time, I actually just canceled this subscription, but for a long time I had a subscription to this service called Humble Bundle. So you'd like pay, it was really cheap, like $12 a month, and you'd get a couple video games a month. Some were keepers, some were not, kind of just based on your preference. But one that I got at some point was called Phobia, Saint Dinfna Hotel. So this is one that I'm going to play today, and I'm going to watch X-Files. I have my beer, the one that smashed open. I put it in this big, huge, cold Yeti mug. It was slowly leaking out, but luckily it also had some carbonation still. So this is, can you see? The lighting here is terrible. But this is, come on, focus. Come on, focus. This is what it looks like. Oh my god. Cats! Cats! I knew this was gonna happen. Who did it, Baron? Oh yeah, I was trying to show you this before my cat tried to jump in the middle of the Baron, in the middle of my fort. But that's okay, because I actually altered it so that I can lay in here and see the TV screen now. So this is what it looks like. Very cool jack-o'-lantern. It's called Smashed Pumpkin. It's an imperial ale by Shipyard, which comes from Maine. It sounds pretty good. It says it has notes of caramel and cinnamon. Cinnamon, not my favorite, but maybe with the caramel it'll be okay. Pumpkin, also not my favorite, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna have a good time. I also bought some peach gummies. I love these. I love just like the peach rings, but I have a special soft spot for these Haribo peaches. They have like the most deliciously textured insides. They're so like soft and yummy. So I'm gonna watch X-Files. I'm gonna play this horror phobia game. I couldn't really find any that would like work on my Steam, that were like, you know, because if you have a Steam Deck, not everything is Steam Deck compatible yet. Like they're going through games, right? Like Valve is, and they're making things Steam compatible, but not everything right off the bat is Steam compatible. So you kind of have to pick and choose what, I kind of had to pick and choose what I'm working with, right? And also because I'm scared of horror video games, a lot of the ones that I have are more like cute horror video games, things like Little Nightmares, or things like Left 4 Dead, which is an old one if you played that, or things that are like in a horror category like BioShock, which isn't gonna scare me, you know. I don't have a lot of like horror ones. I think I have like the Friday the 13th game, but I'm also trying to play something that I can maybe also watch something while I'm playing, so. No, it's not working. Anyway, okay, so that's my plan for right now. I'm gonna sit back, eat some gummies, drink one of these beers because it's like 9% alcohol, and it's noon, so I do have to pick my kid up from school at some point, so I definitely can't, like, I have to be a responsible adult. So I will also be eating lunch after I do that. So hopefully my cat doesn't, Baron, I see you over there, guilty cat. Why not just come lay in our fort? It's much comfier inside. So hopefully the fort does not come crashing down upon me. Wish me luck. Wish me fun. Wish me Halloween fun, because I wish I could have just done this. I mean, I'm doing it now, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, okay. Goodbye. Hello. I was too, oh my god. I have the same laugh as my dad and my uncle, and it terrifies me. It's terrible. It's terrifying. It's horrible. My wheezy old man laugh. Okay, so pumpkin beer. Not bad. It really just tastes like a brown ale, which like I got sugar crystals in my throat, which I like. I really like a brown ale, actually. Like, it kind of tastes it kind of tastes like a elevated like Newcastle to me, which I like. Newcastle, I actually haven't drank one in a long time, but I like Newcastle, which is kind of like a really generic brown ale. So that's kind of what it tastes like to me. Probably more beer purists are gonna be really upset if I say that, because this is like imperial, right? And they're gonna be like, no, it's imperial pumpkin. But it has caramel in it, which is a darky flavor, caramely, dark. But it's good. It tastes like a brown ale to me, is all I'm saying. Look at my mushroom socks. They have a mushroom on the bottom. I drank my beer. It was really good. I liked it. Like I said, it tasted like a brown ale to me, which I like. I was glad it wasn't too like forward pumpkin tasting. Just because I guess I was worried that it would have like a pumpkin spice taste, which I don't really love. I don't really like the spices that come along with a pumpkin spice. Like the too cinnamon, nutmeggy taste. I don't really love nutmeg. I don't really love cinnamon, which is what you find in that, and I don't love that. But even though it said it had cinnamon, what I really found was, like I said, more brown taste. So I watched an episode of X-Files. I'm watching a second episode because I can. I'm an adult and I said so. I'm eating some candy. I've played through a little bit of Phobia, which is like the perfect kind of horror game for me, where it's not just one of those games where you're just running from a bad guy. Like there's more of a story arc in it. You're coming to, I think that this must have been made in a different country, because I'm picking up documents and you pick up the document, right? Or like I've picked up a laptop and there's an email on it, and I think it's either like Spain or Mexico, right? Like Spanish. And then it says read, right? And then like the text comes up, and then I can read it in English. So it must have come out. And also Phobia is spelled with an F instead of a PH. So I'm investigating something, like someone tips me off, I'm a journalist, and they're like, some weird shit's been happening here, and I'm like, I'm a journalist, so I love weird shit happening in places. And they're like, oh, the perfect place for you to stay to uncover the shit in this place is this hotel called the Diffenfa. Like the weirdest named hotel I've ever heard of. The Diffenfa Hotel. And I'm like, love it. Can't pronounce the name, but I'd love to stay there. And so it's weird because it opens up and you're like in this like cage cell in a basement, and you escape from that caged cell and you're like, oh, I gotta get out of here. And then this bad guy comes and you're like, oh, I can't possibly escape. And so I'm like, oh god, I can't possibly escape. And you're not supposed to be able to possibly escape, right? And then it's like, that's just the prologue. And then you get into the like actual story arc of the thing, and there's like a, you know, puzzles to solve, and like a, not like puzzles like it's Zelda or something, but like a story arc, like, you know, for example, you're in this hotel room and there you have to look around the hotel room to uncover the code for a lock on a suitcase so that you can get out of this room, kind of a thing, which is right up my alley, you know, and someone's knocking on the door the whole time and you're like, fuck, I gotta get out of here, you know. So that is actually right up my alley. Like, that is the kind of horror that is perfect for me. So I'm really liking this game so far, and we'll see where it goes. And I'm gonna eat some more Haribo peaches and watch some more X-Files and enjoy my time. No cats have joined me so far after Baron almost destroyed my fort by trying to jump into the center of it from the roof. Baron, wherever he is, may he count his days before he gets petted and smooched on his head. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm not even sorry that I didn't pull these cards sooner, because doing all this shit together is really great. Goodbye. Hey losers, it is Tuesday afternoon. I am really tired today. Oh boy, I'm tired today. I stayed up too late. I did not sleep well. It's just, last night, I had a really nice night last night though. Yesterday, like I said, hung out in my blanket fort, watched the X-Files, and then Lobby had her school's trunk or treat, and I really didn't think that she would want to go. Last year we went, but the line was so long that like we got in line and we're like, we don't want to, like, I don't want to do this. And we're like, hey, Lobby, do you want to like go get ice cream instead? And she was like, sure. So then we just went and got ice cream instead of waiting half an hour to get in. But so I didn't even think that she would want to go. But then this weekend she hit me with the, did we already miss trunk or treat? Because this is my last one and I want to go. And I was like, oh, fuck. Did we miss it? Because I didn't even, I don't know. So it was actually last night, and we picked her friend up. So we went to that, and the line was that line is so bonkers. Like, it's crazy. We were in line for, I don't know, at least 25 minutes before we got in. And then it's like they give out one piece of candy so that they can ration it for each child, which I understand why they do that, but it's like, so we did this for, you know, 20 pieces of candy, Laffy? But she really wanted to go. It was her last one, like she said. And she asked me if I would dress up in my costume, so I did that. I have like fake blood stains on my face and hands. And then we got home and we watched, she wanted to watch X-Files in the blanket fort. So we did that. And then after a couple episodes, she's like, can we watch SpongeBob? And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. So then we watched SpongeBob, and then after she went to bed, I played more of that scary hotel game, which is really interesting. It's like, you have this, you're stuck in this hotel, and you find this camera, and it's like the camera shows you a different dimension almost, and you use the camera to find hidden spaces in the hotel. And so it's kind of fun. The one thing, and I hate when games do this, because who just has the time as adults, right? But I hate when games have a system where you can only save in certain spots, and it's not just like save whenever you want. So you have to find a save spot, and I fucking hate that so much. Like, this isn't PlayStation 1. We're not playing Resident Evil. I don't need to find a fucking ribbon to save on a typewriter anymore. Like, why are we doing that? I hate that. So this does have kind of a Resident Evil vibey feel to it, which I appreciate. And I think the game is actually Brazilian. I was thinking Spanish, because when I was, I don't know, it seems like a Latin-based language, you know? But I think it's Brazilian. Anyway, so I did my watch a movie in a fort, and now I can roll again. So I'm gonna do that. I rolled a 2, which puts me on a little ghost space here, which is a movie. When a Stranger Calls. Okay, that one I would like to watch. Okay, so those are my plans for today. Oh, I really wanted to do some more spooky stuff off my list. I don't know if I'll have time to do that today, because I really need to edit my vlog from last week, which I haven't done. And I really need to get, oh god, I just, you know, it's just, I don't have enough time to do everything that I need to do in my life. Anyway, I will see you after I watch this movie. Hello! I'm making some pico de gallo right now, again, because Zach wanted to eat. He is like super fucking into what we ate for lunch last week, so we're eating it again. It's just like, basically like a burrito bowl, right, with chicken. Ugh, why is the core of this tomato so hard? That's weird. So, it's like, listen, I am so fucking tired of... Camera, don't do this to me. I can't look and chop at the same time. I'm gonna cut my fucking fingers off. I'm just, you know, I just get tired of deciding what, not that like I'm the only one who decides, but like, you know, just the fatigue of deciding what to make, even though it's like, I do 2 meals every week, you know, it's just so, like, so like if he wants to eat the same thing for lunch for 2 weeks in a row, I'm like, yes, that's fine. I will find a way to choke it down. Actually, this was really good. So I really do think it's the pico de gallo. So as long as I make, hi Salem, as long as I make a shitload of pico de gallo, I don't know, what is it? It's just like so fresh tasting, I guess. That I also, like, how do you chop a tomato? It doesn't matter how I experiment with chopping a tomato, it never is like uniform and nice looking. It's always sloppy, goopy tomato guts. Today, I did finish a book. I've also been reading another book for like, oh my god, like a week now. I feel like it's not even that long. I just haven't taken the time to sit down and read recently. So that is a problem. But I'm going to finish that today. That one is All Smoke Rises, the one I've been reading for fucking ever. So it's like good, but like I said, I've just been spending time doing other things. So I really need to do that because tomorrow is Halloween. Today is Wednesday, so it's the 30th today. Tomorrow is Halloween. Tomorrow I have a bunch of shit to film, so like I definitely don't have time to, like, today is the end. Today is the end of my reading for the month. So that's it. That's it. I gotta finish this book. I also did read, or I listened to, Bad Astronauts by Grady Hendrix, which turned out not to be a horror book, which I guess, like, if I had thought about it, it's like, yeah, obviously not. Obviously that's not a horror book. It's about, honestly, it was really funny and quirky, just like Grady Hendrix other stuff. It's about this, like, ex-astronaut who never quite made it into space, but he has a relative now who is stuck in space, and NASA isn't really making the effort to rescue him. So this ex-astronaut back on Earth is like, you know what? Me and my hillbilly family, we're gonna make redneck NASA, and we're going to build a shuttle. We're gonna launch it, and we're gonna rescue our relative. And it's just like fun and quirky, like really super quick. I think the audiobook was like 3.5 hours long, right? So listening to it at 2 times speed, which is about what I did, not very long at all. So, you know, it was fun and quirky, not quite like a 5-star read, but like pretty damn close. So entertaining, so funny, just the characterization, like everything Grady Hendrix does is, I don't know how he just does it so well in such a short amount of time. It's just so fun what he does. So, like, not at all horror. There are not any horror elements. I don't even know what I would call it. Just like a, I don't know, maybe, I guess, it's not even like, it doesn't even feel science fiction to me, right? Because they're building, I guess, is it science fiction? I don't fucking know. I guess. So it was good. And All Smoke Rises is good too. It's just, it's not, I'm not listening to it. So like, not, you know, like I could be listening to it right now, but I don't have an audio copy of it. So I'm not, you know, I don't have that much further to go. It's kind of weird. It's like, there's this little girl who should not be alive, but she somehow is, but like the thing that's keeping her alive is drugs. So it's like weird and sad. So like there is a lot of drug use in the book, and like it is kind of disturbing because it's like people are giving drugs to this child and it's keeping her alive, but it's also like they're giving intravenous drugs to a child, which is disturbing. Yeah, I am curious to see where it will go. It's like there's this other character too that like, I don't know, I'm like, is he also like some sort of living dead person? Because there's something going on with him. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I also am going to break out my Final Girl card game finally, because I really want to play that before the month is over, and I really don't know how much time I'm going to have tomorrow to do things. Yeah, the end of this week is going to be really busy. I'm also trying to get shit together because on Monday, my daughter is taking a school trip and she's going to be gone for a week. And so, like, I'm like also making sure that she has everything she needs for that. And it's, you know, down to the last few days where she definitely, like, she needs to have everything together. Yeah, she's had homework shit to do. She's had extra orchestra practices because her orchestra got invited to do a performance at the Capitol, which is like a really big deal. It's like an overnight trip for that coming up. So I don't know, just like all this extra momming I've had to do too, which is, it's good for her. Like I'm excited for her, but you know, just extra things on my plate. I'm really fucking glad that I am done with those 2 extra classes because that means less school shit for me to have to worry about. Okay, so I'm gonna make this Pico, I'm gonna make my pepper lantern, and then I will check back in with you once I've got this card game set up. I'm gonna read the directions and shit. It seems like I was looking at it on Amazon just because I don't remember why I was looking it up. I think I was looking at some of the, I don't know. I just saw that there were a ton of like different expansions for it, which was cool. And I was reading some of the reviews and it seems like people really like it, but that like it might take a minute to like figure out how to play, but like you can, like it's a 1-person game, I think, which is why Zach bought it, because he is not a board game, card game person, and like I am. So it's kind of a bummer sometimes, but now Lobby's old enough to play shit with me. But I think that's why he bought it anyways, is what I'm saying, because I can play it by myself, and I'm going to today. So I'm gonna get this shit done, and then I will check in with you. Hello, I've finished my book. I have made my pepper lantern. Isn't he so cute? Look at him, camera. Look at, oh my god, look at my thing. She really wants to eat ranch dip. I don't really let my animals eat human food, but that doesn't mean that they do not yearn for it, despite I've broken out this Final Girl card game, and I think this is going to be very fun, but I think that there is going to be a learning curve here. There's lots of components, and I'm feeling overwhelmed by it. But one thing that I did think is cool is there's like the base game part of it. Oh my god, camera. Look at my face, camera. And then it comes with, like I said, there's different like expansion packs that come with different locations and killers. And one thing that I thought was cool is they've designed the boxes so that you can like disassemble them, kind of. They're like magnetized. You can take the locations and the killers off and like swap them around. So if you're like, oh, I want to use this camping one on a different one, then you can just do that, right? Or I want to use Hans the Butcher in the, I think they have one that's like on an island. You can put him on the island more easily So I thought that that was a smart way to do this. I don't know what half this shit means so far. It seems interesting. Like I said, you're a final girl, or you're trying to be a final girl. You're trying to escape a slasher killer. They can kill little figures on your board. You have like a time meter and a health meter. There's an action phase, a planning phase, a killer phase, a panic phase, and an upkeep phase. So like there's lots of stuff. A bloodlust marker. There are little people that your killer can kill, and if you can save them, you can choose not to. If you do save them, it says that sometimes you can receive like special, I guess, rewards for doing so. Yeah, like the different killers have different abilities. Yeah, I mean, I really have like, these are the instructions. So, yeah. I have only read 6 pages so far of instructions. This is what my table looks like. There's a lot of shit going on here. Many components, like I said. Lobby only has about 30 minutes left at her orchestra practice, so I really don't know. Like, I'm going to play this tonight. I just don't know if I'll be able to play. Don't think I'll be able to play. Like, maybe I'll be able to read through the instructions before I go to pick her up. But I thought I would tell you about the book that I finished, All Smoke Rises, which, as I was reading it and introduced more characters, it was like, I feel like it was almost like I was missing information. And I found out why I felt that way. Because when I got to the end of it, it was like, this is part 2. And it's like, oh my god, what the fuck? I just didn't know. I guess I didn't even think to check that because this had come in a Nightworms package a long time ago. So I don't even think to look when I don't buy it for myself, I guess, you know? Because you think, why would they send you the second part of a novella series? Which is kind of annoying. So now it's like, well, I'm never gonna read the first part. And it kind of felt out of sync, so I'm never gonna read the next part. But I don't know, like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It definitely evoked some feelings of discomfort because, like I said, they're giving this child like intravenous drugs. I feel like I'm missing some information, but it's hard for me to talk about how I feel because it's like, was this information just not included, period? Or was this information just in the first book and I don't get that information because it was not in the second book and it was in the first book? So I don't know. It's hard to know how I feel about it because of that, you know. So I don't know. You know, there were things about like this child, she's not quite in a living state, but it's like, is that ever explained? And then there's something going on with another character who doesn't quite seem like he's alive, but it doesn't ever explain quite what's going on with him either. And I was confused about that, but or not I don't know, confused isn't quite it, just curious and wishing there was an explanation. But is there just not an explanation, or is that given to us in the first book and I just don't know? So that kind of sucks that I don't know, I guess it's ultimately my responsibility to see whether I'm reading a standalone book or not, but I guess I just assumed it was and it was not, which kind of sucks. So I don't know, it's a toss-up, right? I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. I made a pepper lantern. I'm gonna eat it and try to figure out what this game is about. and get back to you later. Maybe once I've played a little bit, hopefully. It seems like it's gonna be really fun once I figure out what the fuck is going on. But there's a lot of information. Like, I have to read a book to be able to figure out how to play this. But I'm gonna do it. Hey everyone. I don't know how to start this. I got a call from my mom last night with some bad family news that, like, I don't feel like it's my place to go into detail on, but also I was thinking about just like not mentioning it at all, and I just like also feel like I can't pretend like it like it didn't affect my day at all, especially when it comes to like a vlog, you know, if like going forward with the rest of my videos that I need to film today, I feel like I'm okay not mentioning it, but like I want to talk about this, but it's like it took me like 6 hours to finish this game, and I don't know also what to tell you about it because it's like I want to play this again. I don't really know how my experience was yesterday because my day ended up being so out of the ordinary. But yeah, I got some bad family news last night. It's not good and really concerning. Like, my mom and her husband, they're the ones who are, you know, the most affected by this. And so if you know, just like take a moment to send them some good vibes. They really need it, especially in, you know, the coming weeks. They have to plan a funeral and stuff like that, so it's not, and it's a death that's like not planned, very sudden, and like not just natural, so it's like not good. And so anyway, I didn't really I started reading the directions for this last night at like 2:30, and I didn't finish playing this until like 8 o'clock, so it says it takes between 20 and 60 minutes to play, but I don't really know how long it actually took me to play. I did, like I said, I had a very like atypical night, and I also had shit to take care of, you know, like obviously stuff was going on. Hi, I got a little interrupted, so I don't remember quite what I was saying, but it took me much longer. It could be because this was my first time playing, and I'm assuming next time it won't take me so long to play this. So playthrough, much longer than expected. I can foresee this being one of those games where every time is a little bit different. There's lots of components. My dice rolls sucked. It was like, oh my god, I was getting the worst rolls. I did end up killing the slasher before he got me, but I also, like, there were a few times where I was like, oh shit, I wasn't doing this quite right. So it was like, once I was into the game, it's like, oh shoot, like rereading the directions and finding out that I hadn't done something quite right the first time. So it's like, would I really have won if I had been doing it right the first time? I don't know. There's definitely a learning curve, but it was really fun. I think I would like to get expansions for this. If you like games if you like playing games by yourself, I would recommend. You do need quite a bit of a room. Like, this took up my full table, even with everything set up. You do need quite a bit of space. It's not one that you can play just like on your lap or like in the car or something like that. You do need quite a bit of room to play it, but yeah, it was fun. And ooh, one thing that was fun was that there are these little envelopes that say like, do not open unless you've won with, there are 2 final girls that come in the kit, right? So I'm assuming with the expansion there are also those, and I won't reveal, but there are things that come in those little envelopes. I didn't open the second one, I just opened the one with for the final girl that I used. It was really fun. It's like things happen once the killer kills like the victims on the board, and there are things that you get from saving the victims on the board before they become victims, and you can like unlock things that help you survive, and you get kind of like an ultimate power yourself. And also, if the killer kills enough, he has like this bloodlust meter, and then he gets certain things that like, he gets like a blood frenzy, and it was really fun. And I would like to play this again for sure, and hopefully it won't take me 6 hours to complete. But yeah, there are lots of pieces, a lot of moving parts to this game. You kind of have to remember like there are a lot of phases to each turn too. There's like your phase as the final girl, and you have like each move you do kind of, for the most part, takes a certain amount of time. You roll a dice, right? And it kind of, you have good rolls, bad rolls, and that determines like how much time that takes up, whether you can even move or not, depending on what you're doing, kind of a thing. There's like a horror meter, which is fun. I don't know. There's just a lot, right? So there's like your turn, then you have like this planning phase where you, if you have time left, you can pick out other cards. Like there, for example, is a card for searching, right? So there are certain spots on the map where you can search for items. Possibly if you get a good roll when you use that card. So each of those take time, and if you use it correctly, so it's like a lot of planning, a lot of moving components, and then there's like the killer's turn and, you know, stuff like that. So a lot of moving parts, but I thought it was really fun. And because there is all of this stuff, I think that like that lends itself to being a really unique experience in this game. And like, it's never going to be the same game over and over again, you know? Especially if you have multiple expansion packs. And it looks like, at least right now, there's 9 expansions. So like 10 maps altogether, which is cool. And it looks like there are ones that play off of certain movie franchises. Like there's one that looks like Alien, there's one that looks like The Thing, there's like a carnival one, there's one that's on an island, there's one called Poltergeist. So yeah, it seems fun. This one is like a camp one, and the killer has like he's like a butcher, he has a knife, and you can find weapons possibly. So that is really how I ended up being successful because it's hard to attack this person. But that's how I did it. I just was like whittling down. It's hard because they have much more health than you do as just one little final girl. Now it is Halloween. I have got a bunch of stuff to film, so that's gonna be taking up most of my free time today. We're going over to my sister-in-law's later, which is our Halloween tradition. We eat Halloween chili, and then we go trick-or-treating because we go, I don't know, it's just the neighborhood that Zach and his sisters grew up in, and it's a nice neighborhood where it's easier to walk around in than our neighborhood. Like, our neighborhood's really old, so like we don't have sidewalks in front of our house, you know. It's just not as nice to walk around in. Although, like, there are a lot of kids when we do get home. There's a lot of kids, but theirs is just easier to walk around in. And everyone knows each other, I guess, because they've lived there for, I mean, his family's lived there for 35 years. We'll see what kind of updates I have for tonight, but I hope everyone has a really great spooky day. Good morning. Thing says, get off me. Hi, it's November 1st. Oh, it's so sad. Fangy hair all over me now. Oh boy, I am very tired this morning. I stayed up way too late last night, having Halloween festivities. I had a really nice night last night. We went over to my sister-in-law's. We went trick-or-treating. Well, my kid went trick-or-treating. Our kids went trick-or-treating. We ate Halloween chili. I love Halloween chili. My shoulders are sore from the gym. I don't usually do shoulder stuff very often because it aggravates like my neck problem. But I'm always like back and forth about it. Like, will strengthening my shoulders help my neck? So it's like, I don't know. I do it sometimes. Maybe I need to do it more often, but my neck isn't sore, luckily. It's just my shoulders are sore. Anyway, I woke up. I had some Halloween cocktails, so like I woke up and I'm not like hungover, but like I definitely had a headache this morning and I was hungry and my stomach was like, I want these specific hash browns from this restaurant I used to work at. And so I went there this morning and ate these hash browns. There's like nothing crazy about them. They just mix in like diced bacon and onions and put cheese on them. And I was like, oh, I just need those this morning. So I went and I had breakfast there by myself and I read a little bit of Crushing Snails. I don't know, it's not really a book. It's not really a like reading in public book. There's like some disturbing stuff that's happening in it to this poor little girl. Or at least like not a read in public book where you're somewhere where you know people who might talk to you, you know, which was the case for me because I used to work there and I know people who still work there and I know like customers who go there still, you know, and so I was like seeing people and speaking to people and shit as I was like waiting for my meal and reading. Okay, so I really just wanted to, I guess, I did film like kind of a wrap up last night, but it was so rambly and I decided to delete it. I didn't even watch over it. I was just like, you know what, delete. This is also rambly, but not quite as rambly. So I wanted to, I guess, have a little bit of a, since I didn't film my Halloween night because there's other people's children involved, you know, which, oh, there were some good Halloween costumes. Hold on. I won't show you a picture. Let me tell you who we had yesterday. My daughter, here, I'll show you a picture of my daughter. She was the girl from A Bad Case of Stripes. Then we had My 3 oldest nieces, they dressed up like characters from Adventure Time. There was Finn, the human, Jake the dog, BMO. My most recent niece was a can of beans. She had a little onesie on it that her mom made, a little can of beans. Then we had a pumpkin. Colonel Sanders, one of my nieces was Colonel Sanders, and she did a couple's costume with her pet bearded dragon, Scale Trisha, who was a drumstick. And then my nephew was Art the Clown, which is hilarious. He's in like, I think like 1st grade, I think. So, yes. I don't believe I don't believe his parents have let him watch Terrifier. He's just seen the image of Art the Clown, and he's a little spooky guy. He's my little buddy. I love him so much. I love all my nieces and nephews, but he's my little pal. He's funny. We were missing a couple kids this year. They're just off doing other things, but it was a fun night, and I thought that I would end this just because, like, yesterday, you know, I shared about like the shit going on with my family. I didn't really want to end the vlog just like that, like, oh, here's this sad stuff, the end, like, so I'm going to extend this for today. I wanted to, share, you know, a little bit about my Halloween night, and then also I'm going to let my daughter, well, I'm gonna watch with her Ring You. She's never seen it. She hasn't seen the, well, okay, one time, one of my nieces, who's a couple years older than Lovey, when they were still kind of young, I think Lovey was in like 1st grade, my niece spent the night, and I had like woken up and was laying in bed in the morning, so like I wasn't quite like out of bed yet, and I heard the like noises from the Ring, like the, you know, the really distinct sound from when they're watching the movie, the like kind of like weird movie noises, and I was like, what are they watching? And I like ran out of bed, and my niece had put on the Ring. I don't know if she had seen it before or what, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Lovey is a little bit too young to watch this. This one might be too scary for her still. So, I don't think Lovey remembers that. Wait, has she watched? Actually, I think she's watched The Ring with me, now that I think about it. But she's not seen the, anyway, oh my god. She has not seen the original Japanese version, and I'm gonna watch it with her. She goes to a week-long school camping thing, school camp on Monday, so I'm going to scare the shit out of her. Hopefully she finds it scary. Right before she goes, it's gonna be great. So, and then today I need to do my psychology homework for the week and hopefully get that done. I don't know, I'm very tired. I really honestly, especially now that I'm like full of potato, I really want to like go to sleep. I was up way past my normal bedtime, and then I don't know. I didn't sleep super good, probably because I don't know, whenever I like have alcohol, my sleep is just like terrible, you know? But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I do have an interesting paper that I have to write for my psychology class that I can use like a movie, a book, or a TV show, and I'm supposed to, okay, I have to write this applied theory paper. It says, Identify a movie, television show, or book you're familiar with. Pick a scene or situation that shows a character exhibiting inappropriate or risky behavior. Explain the behavior in the chosen situation using at least 2 perspectives of psychology, so psychoanalytic, behavioral, humanistic, cognitive, evolutionary, biological, sociocultural, or biopsychosocial. And then I'm supposed to write an 8-page paper on it. And at first I was like, oh, I can't think of anything that I, like any sort of thing but I don't, any sort of, like, what type of media would I do that on? And then I was like, and then it was like a record scratch mode. It was like, I was just like, wait a minute. I read fucked up books all the time. I watch horror movies all the time. What do you mean I can't think of a character with, like, I can't think of a character who behaves inappropriately? You dingleberry. Of course I can. So, yeah, interesting. Especially when I'm reading this book right now, Crushing Snails, about this girl named Winnie who has a terrible family life, and she's starting to like deal with that externally. So I'm like, oh, this might be perfect. So this paper, I'm gonna have to start writing it because I don't know what it's due. It doesn't say what it's due. So, also great. Thank you, Professor Fart Bottom. I don't know, like, great. Good to know that I have this paper I'm supposed to be writing and have no idea what it's supposed to be due. Okay, so that's it for right now. Maybe I'll have Lavi on and we can talk about Ringu in a little bit, like later tonight. I hope she likes it. I just hope she thinks it's scary, because when I watched this for the first time, I think I was like 15 or 16. I had a boyfriend. He had a roommate who was from Japan. And so, like, I got to, like, experience through this boyfriend, like, a lot of cool, like, things because of this roommate, like cool Japanese cultural stuff that I, wouldn't have heard of or experienced otherwise, So I saw a bunch of, things like Ringu because of his roommate. And it's just like, I would have eventually heard of Ringu, but I wouldn't have been able, I don't think I would have been able to find a copy of it when I was 15, so that was pretty cool. That's also where I heard of Battle Royale for the first time. How I read copies of Battle Royale for the first time was through that cool roommate. I can't even remember what his name was anymore, but he was really nice, and it was, anyway. Anyway, I will talk to you before. What I'm planning is maybe our expectations of Ringu, and then also how we feel after Ringu. Hopefully, if I remember to do that. Okay, see you in a little bit. So we're gonna watch Ringu. Lavi she had her Halloween parade at school today, so has makeup stains from her costume. But I wanted to ask you, loves, if you have any expectations. I know you watched the original Ring, right? Did you think that one was scary? Yeah, I thought that one was scary too. I remember watching it when it came out in the theater, and I think I was about your age. Do you think the Japanese one will be scary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen any other Japanese movies or Asian movies?
That one I watched with you.
Yeah,
Dad.
Tale of Two Sisters. Did you think that one was scary? Yeah. Hopefully. Do you want to be scared, or do you want to be not scared?
I want to be scared.
Me too. Okay, here we are. Post Ringu. What did you think?
It wasn't that scary, but her fingernails were ugly.
Her fingernails are terrible. It wasn't that scary. That's what Lovey thinks. Baron. So I don't even know what to show her to make her scared. That's not also like inappropriate. I don't know.
That cat.
Ring, you scared me.
Huh?
Ring, you scared me when I was much older than you.
It's not that scary though.
I don't know. Maybe I've shown you too many scary movies. What do you think about that?
I usually get scared by scary movies when I'm not with you, though.
That makes sense. And
The
now,
Babadook scared me.
yeah,
I hate the Babadook.
the duck. And now you're gonna sleep in the living room?
Yeah.
Right where Sadako's grave was?
I'm gonna watch SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob will definitely. That's a great brain cleanser. Okay.
I'll sleep with Barry too.
Well, that's Ring You for you. Hey losers. Welcome to my very last Halloween-a-thon entry. I'm sad it's over. It is not October any longer. It is November 4th. Womp womp. Tomorrow's election day, so make sure you vote. If you haven't already. I always request mail-in ballots, so I have done that already. They even give you a I voted sticker, but I don't know. I feel weird not wearing it on election day. But anyway, welcome to this last, I don't know, I guess wrap up of Halloween-a-thon stuff. I'm not even really sure like how to wrap this up. I don't know. I read, I think 19 or 20 books. I know I read 17 in October. So I'm guessing maybe I read two or three of those in September, that week before the fall, the week of fall, the week of first fall. And now it's finally starting to feel like fall here. Or it's really more of like our winter weather has started already, because we don't really have a fall. It goes from turning your air conditioner on to literally turning your fucking heater on. It's unbearable. I hate it here. I don't know. What else do I say? I had a lot of books that I really loved. I think my highlights would be Gone to See the Riverman. Actually, I've got them right here. I have the books right, well, some of them right here. I think the standouts for me were Gone to See the Riverman. I can't find it on my shelves, my infernal shelves. I really need to like start quizzing myself on where things are so I can find them. Soft Ceremonies, which was an anthology. Blood Sugar, one of the best books I've read all year. All Hail the House Gods by Andrew J. Stone. And The Laws of the Skies by Gregoire Courtois. Those, I believe, were all my 5-star reads over Halloween-a-thon time. So yes, five of these. Just pretend that I'm also holding Gone to See the Riverman, because I also really love that one. That one's by Christopher Triana, if I didn't mention that. Where did I put that? What color is the spine? That's the thing, is like, I can always remember what color the front of the cover is, but I don't always remember what color the spine is, because they're not always the same. So anyway, those are the best books that I read. Great novellas, some great audiobooks. And yes, just a great spooky time. I'm glad I had some time last week to fit in some of the spooky things I'd been wanting to sprinkle throughout my month. But, you know, what can you do? Maybe I should have just done some of those anyway and not crammed them all in at the end, because, you know, there's some that I missed out on. But like, now I can just do them whenever I want to, because it's still fall and nobody can tell me what to do. If I want to keep celebrating Halloween, I can. You're not my dad. Anyway, I also have here the November Nightworms package that I was going to open just as like a thing. I don't know. So if you subscribe to Nightworms, you haven't gotten your package, you don't want to be spoiled, goodbye, because I think this is the end. So goodbye to you. What else? I think that's it. So let's just open this Nightworms package. Oh, okay. That's right. Now I'm remembering. Let's see what the theme is. Come on. Theme card, horror royalty. That's the theme for this month. And this is my last Nightworms package. So it feels a little bittersweet. I did subscribe for one more month. Then I canceled a bunch of my subscriptions, but I held on to this one for one more month because there's a book in here that's supposed to be signed by the author. It said signed. It didn't say signed book plate. So I'm really hoping it is signed. I'm gonna look right now. It is! Okay, sweet. Okay, yay! So this is After the People Lights Have Gone Off by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a collection I've been wanting to get my hands on, but it was out of print for a really long time. Now it's back in print, baby. So we get to read it. Let me read you the synopsis. This is not your cookie cutter horror collection. Stephen Graham Jones has taken nightmarish visions from his fevered imagination and crafted them into pieces of literary genius. If the absolute fear doesn't sweep you away, his lyrical and haunting prose will. Does holding your breath for 2 minutes during the scariest part of a horror movie invite the terror in? Just ask the kids who go to the local theater in 13. In Doc's story, even the most beloved family tales have teeth. That's what happens when you're born into a werewolf pack. Oh my god, more werewolf stories. Yes. And a father who doesn't have to think twice when he's given one chance to make the ultimate sacrifice in Snow Monsters. In these 15 stories, Jones coaxes our greatest fears from the shadowy corners of our minds, and we can't turn away. Yes, 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 yes. I'm so excited for this. I'm very excited that this is signed by the author. So this is the reason I held off on canceling my Nightworm subscription. Although, like, my book's a little bit dented, which seems to happen often. I'll get, like, scratched covers, dented spines, which kind of sucks. Especially because sometimes I resell books that I don't like, and then I'm like, or that I didn't love, really. And then I'm like, well, this didn't even come to me in new condition, which is kind of irritating. Like this one! Just kidding. This is what the cover looks like. This is The Queen by Nick Cutter, which I'm also excited for. Although I did not love his last book, which was done with another author, I think Andrew Sullivan, does that sound right? Andrew Sullivan and Nick Cutter, called The Handyman Method. Yes, I think so. Yeah, that's what that says way up there. I found the book on my shelf. I think it's Andrew Sullivan. But this is just Nick Cutter. I haven't read a just Nick Cutter book since Little Heaven came out. So I'm pretty stoked about this. That was like fucking 6 years ago, right? That was so long ago. So, one sunny morning in June, Margaret Carpenter wakes up. Ooh, Carpenter. Margaret Carpenter wakes up to find a new iPhone on her doorstep. She switches it on and is greeted by a text from her best friend, Charity Atwater. The problem is, Charity's been missing for over a month. Most people in town, even the police, think she's dead. Margaret and Charity have been lifelong friends. They share everything, know the most intimate details about each other, except for the destructive secret hidden from them both. A secret that will trigger a chain of events ending in tragedy, bloodshed, and death. And now, Charity wants Margaret to know her story, the real story. In a narrative that takes place over one feverish day, I love books like that, Margaret follows a series of increasingly disquieting breadcrumbs as she forges deeper into the mystery of her best friend, a person she never truly knew at all. I, so far, have heard good things about this. I kind of want to see what the... Oh, okay. I was thinking with this bright green on the inside that maybe the hardcover was green. But I guess I could have seen that without... Anyway, it's not. But I love the distressed look of this. Actually, the first time I saw someone take a picture of this, which is weird because I've seen this before. Fucking political calls, dude. Leave me alone. Just the texts and the calls. It's like I fucking voted. Leave me alone. I've done my civic duty. Oh my god. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I've seen the image of this like multiple times, especially doing like my most anticipated list. Like this was on that, but for some reason, I don't know, did I just not notice this? Is that not there when you pull it up or something? Because the first time I saw this, like someone posting this book after they bought it, I was like, oh no, what happened to that book? It's so realistic looking, like in a picture. I wonder if it will pick up on the camera like that, because I was like, didn't this book just come out? How did it get so, like, how did you get such a mangled copy already? I thought maybe they bought it like used and like it was just destroyed somehow. Crazy, but it's not. It's just supposed to look like that pretty convincingly. Those are the books from November's 9th. Oh, wait, the goodie bag. Wait, is this one? I wonder if this one is signed too. I have a copy of Little Heaven that's signed by Nick Cutter, but this one is not signed. Maybe I bet there's a book plate then. But yeah, like, I mean, book plates are cool and all, but what I want is a piece of this book that this author I love has touched, you know? And now, like, I get to creepily think about how they've had a hand in this, in creating it, and specifically this copy of it now. Okay, so some milk chocolate hot cocoa. This I will drink because it's not pumpkin spice. Okay, there is a book plate from Nick Cutter. There is, oh, this is a cool one. There's a sticker. It says Queen of Books. It's meant to look like a tarot card. It's a woman with a crown on, sitting on a very fancy chair. She's reading a book. She has a goblet of wine and a cat. I love that for her. Oh, and then there's another little, this is a royalty ghost. It's a ghost on a throne of books. It's got a crown on its head and a cup of hot cocoa. Perfect. I'll reenact that soon. And then there's a promo for the lineup, which is, what is this? This looks like it must be a publishing company. It says more Stephen Graham Jones titles coming in 2025. Sign up for the newsletter. Previously out of print ebooks by Stephen Graham Jones now available. Maybe they'll print hard copies again, because that's really what I read. I haven't heard of any of these except I think Zombie Bake Off. I think I have heard of that one. So that's kind of cool. And then of course there's the Inksmith bookmark for the month. Horror Royalty. No, this is published by Open Road. So I don't know. Maybe the lineup is also, well, no, this says from Open Road Media, and then it has a bunch of the titles mentioned in that. Either way, it seems that you can now purchase copies of previously out of print ebooks by Stephen Graham Jones. So that's great for all of us SGJ lovers out there. I know not everyone's a fan. I feel like he definitely is one of those authors, like his author's voice comes out so strong. It's like either a love him, like him, or don't kind of thing. I am very much a fan though. So that's it. Oh my god, this is it. This is it. Goodbye, Halloween-a-thon. I'd encourage you to maybe take a moment to thank Kelsey and the hosts for all the work that they put in here. Like, I don't know if you guys know how much Kelsey, like how much work she does. Like, just not even, it's like the planning, the execution, and then she's participating, she's like doing streams and stuff like that. You know, there are other hosts and people in the Monster Squad who did live streams and stuff. So, yeah, so just take a moment to be grateful for them. Such awesome content creators who bring us hours, endless hours of entertainment. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, Kelsey. And goodbye. Thank you. And thank you. Oh my God. And thank you guys for watching these vlogs. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you forever and always. I hope your October was really good. I know it's hard. You get those post-October blues. But listen, here's the thing. You can extend October. You can extend your October vibes. If you really want to, you can do that. Society isn't always like super helpful with that, but there are so many things that you can still do that are like fall related activities that can give you some of that like October-y, Halloweenie feel that, you know, that will help maybe for your post-October blues. So hang in there, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.